Hi there, my name is Dominic I'm an agent with Porcupine Real Estate, and I am joined today by Chris Nato from Lakeview Mortgage. Hi, Chris.
Hello, how are you?
And we are here. I'm doing great. Today, we are talking about some financing frequently asked questions. And today, one of the things that we want to cover is how do you stay competitive in today's market with a financing offer versus a cash offer? So, Chris, what are some strategies that people can employ to make themselves more successful with a financing offer?
The first one is to definitely talk with me as far in advance of making your offers possible. That way, we can ensure that you really are pre-approved, that I collect all your documentation. I ask for a lot of information up front because it's what underwriting is going to ask for. And we want to make sure that everything really is good to go. And then once your offer is submitted, I have some strategies that help with the seller and the listing agent to help put your offer ahead of other people's offers. And I actually had a case just a couple of weeks ago where, because of this strategy, our offer was accepted over someone else's that was actually higher than ours. Can't guarantee that's going to happen all the time, but that is what happened in that case.
Something else that I've heard is pre-underwritten loans. How does that, or what is that, and how does that work?
It's broad. Some places will say that it's underwritten ahead of time. Most underwriters won't want to work on a loan unless it's actually live. So I've been doing this for almost 25 years. And so I look at everything that an underwriter is going to look at. So I collect pay stubs and taxes and W-2s. And if you're working overtime or your bonuses, I make sure to get that additional information as well. Really, so I know that when I run your file through the automated underwriting engine and we get an approval, that we have the documentation to back up everything that you put on the application and everything that underwriting is going to want to see. And that's really the best way to ensure that someone is good to go, because I can get an approval in 5 minutes thing or 15 minutes, whatever. That's a pre-qualification. That is not a pre-approval. If your information has not been reviewed, then it's not a pre-approval.
Makes sense. One of the other things is the idea of, doing all of your homework prior to getting ready to look at houses. It's always good to have that letter in hand and make sure that you're, setting yourself up for success. The worst thing that you can do is get your heart set on a property and not have all of that work done ahead of time, because in today's market, you're not gonna have the result you want without all of that work done ahead of time.
No, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because you're seeing properties generally at nights and on weekends. And if you see something, you have to get an offer in immediately. And if your financing isn't set up yet, that means you're hoping that someone is available at 8 o'clock at night or 4 o'clock on a Saturday that can do all this work for you. And if your information isn't streamlined and cookie cutter and it requires more research, then you're just not going to have time to get your offer in. So that's why I recommend calling me and working with me. I mean, if you can, months before you're ready to buy, but that way we can make sure you're good to go. And if there's any improvements that can be done to help your situation, to help your financing, then we've got plenty of time to work on that as well.
Great. And the other thing that's been brought up a few times lately with my clients is cash offers versus financing. Can you expect to get some sort of discount because of a cash offer, or what have you seen recently?
I mean, obviously with the cash offers, I don't see them. I just hear about it from agents, but I can tell you the market seems to be shifting. And while yes, there's still plenty of properties that have 30 offers on them, there's properties that don't have that many offers on them. For the last several years, you haven't been able to get your closing costs paid for by the seller. And I have two right now where the seller is paying for closing costs with financing. And as far as getting a discount, I've never heard of that. I mean, maybe your offer gets accepted over someone else's if it's cash, but if you're not in a cash situation, working with me so we can do a true pre-approval for you, and then letting me incorporate some of those strategies I have to help put you ahead of the pile with the other offers that are submitting, I find that that's just the best way you can go.
Sure. I think a lot of people look at that cash offer as like a trump card. They can slam it down on the table and say, "This is mine." That's not the case anymore, because if you have somebody who is very well approved and has everything in line, and that offer is a little above asking price, I mean, what's the sense in taking an offer that's lower if you're going to take something a little bit better qualified?
Exactly. And in that case, you're just dealing with your the decision is in the seller's hands.
Sure.
So you don't know if a seller needs to move quick or not. I mean, I can close in 3 or 4 weeks if everything is lined up and it's nice and simple. So we can do quick closings as well. I don't see the huge advantage of cash offers now that there used to be.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Chris. That's very informative. If anybody has any specific questions about their situation, how can they get in touch with you?
Please call me. It's the best way. And leave a message if I don't answer. The amount of calls that come through that say spam on them, I have noticed that even some real numbers that say spam, but my phone number is 603-582-5626.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Chris. You have a great day, and thanks everybody for watching.
Thanks. Have a great day.